big Waqf Bill showdown. After JPC victory, government eyes Lok Sabha now. Opposition vows to stop the Waqf Bill. Waqf Bill set for Wednesday Lok Sabha debut. Parliament to witness fireworks on Waqf. That's our top focus on 5 Live with Gaurav Sawant.
Union Minority Affairs Minister and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, he's just set the record straight on Waqf Bill. He said it's for the betterment of Muslims. He says there are some people who are trying to mislead Muslims the way they did during the time of the Citizenship Amendment Act. It's the same people who misled people then and are trying to do so now. The government is aware about such elements. The Waqf Bill is to be tabled in Parliament soon. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Eid Mubarak. We'll get you all details. Despite several Muslim groups uniting to oppose the Waqf Amendment Bill and opposition parties backing them, the Narendra Modi government is all set to introduce the Waqf Amendment Bill in Parliament. They have received a shot in the arm from two prominent minority groups and leaders. Sayyid Nuruddin Chishti of Dargah Ajmer Sharif, he's backed the Waqf reforms, as has Kerala Catholic Bishop Council. With battle lines drawn, it's very clear at this stage that certain parties will oppose them, but there are some who will back. There are some Muslim groups that are backing the government. There are some others who are saying that this is better. The Catholic Bishop Council, for example, has said that the Waqf Bill needs to be backed in Parliament. We'll talk about that in greater detail, but I first want to get you what Kiran Rijiju said on the Waqf Amendment Bill. Kiran Rijiju made it very clear that there are some elements who are trying to mislead the Muslims. Listen in to Kiran Rijiju. I'll get you more on this big story. Listen in to what Rajiv Chandrasekhar had to say. There's a lot that's happening on the Waqf Amendment Bill. There is the Dargah Ajmer Sharif. There are people in Dargah Ajmer Sharif who are backing the Waqf Amendment Bill. They want this to happen. Listen in to Kiran Rijiju. I'll get you more on the story.
In the past few days, I have received very disturbing news of misleading and spreading lies. Some of the specific thing I want to tell, that some people are saying that this Waqf Amendment Bill is unconstitutional. This Waqf rule, these Waqf provisions, these were in existence before independence. How can Waqf Act be illegal if it was in existence before the independence? So please don't mislead. Innocent Muslims are being told and misled by saying that the government is going to snatch the properties and rights of the Muslims. The falsehood is breaching all the records. They are saying that this Waqf Amendment provision will take away the qabrastans and the masjids. What can be a more blatant lies than this? So the false narrative being spread by some of the people are very detrimental to our society and nation. I would like to request everyone, please mark and identify those leaders who are lying. These same people had misled the nation during CAA.
So the government is all set to table the Waqf Amendment Bill. You heard Kiran Rijiju there. The government is also confident of numbers in Lok Sabha. The opposition, especially the Samajwadi Party, has said it will oppose the bill in Parliament. Meanwhile, the Dargah Ajmer Sharif Chishtis, they've come out in favor of the Waqf Amendment Bill. Its report also received support of the Kerala Catholic Bishops Council. Take a look.
Stage set for a mega showdown in Parliament over Waqf Bill. As the controversial Waqf Amendment Bill is all set to be tabled in Lok Sabha, the introduction of the bill likely on Wednesday will be a test of numbers for the centre. Since key NDA allies have assured the Muslim community that its interests will be safeguarded. The government claims that it is confident of the numbers in Lok Sabha despite BJP lacking numbers on its own.
तो ये विवाद खत्म होगा, इसलिए वो अपील कर रहे हैं। बड़ी संख्या में मौलाना भी इसका मदद कर रहे हैं। केवल ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड पूरे इस रमज़ान के महीने में, जहाँ इबादत का महीना है, अल्लाह के लिए तरावी से लेके प्रेयर का है, वहाँ अलविदा नमाज में भी उन्होंने आह्वान कर दिया कि काली पट्टी बांध करके जाएं।
Opposition India bloc has vowed to stall Waqf Bill in Parliament using all means.
हम तो बिल्कुल उसके खिलाफ हैं, क्योंकि जो वक्फ विधेयक है वो हमारे संविधान पर एक सीधा आक्रमण है। सिर्फ कांग्रेस पार्टी नहीं, समाजवादी, टीएमसी, आम आदमी पार्टी, वामपंथी सभी लोग उसका विरोध करते हैं। और सवाल ये है, जेडीयू क्या करेगी, टीडीपी क्या करेगी, जो अपने आप को सेक्युलर पार्टी कहते हैं।
सरकार को सिर्फ याद दिला रहे हैं कि इस मुल्क में रहने वाले मुसलमान जो हैं वो नहीं चाहते हैं कि वक्फ की बिल में कोई भी अमेंडमेंट किया जाए। हम मोदी जी से रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि आप कोई भी सौगात मत दीजिए मुसलमानों को। सौगात ये होगी कि आप जो अधिकार मिला है संविधान में, वो अधिकार मुसलमानों को मिल जाना चाहिए।
The centre got some crucial minority backing for Waqf reforms. The Ajmer Dargah chief battled for Waqf Amendment Bill, saying that the time has come for reforms. He said Waqf Board's functioning is no longer transparent.
जहाँ तक वक्फ का मेरा मानना ही है कि वक्फ में अमेंडमेंट की जरूरत है। देखिए, वक्फ का मतलब ये कतई ये नहीं है कि लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि मस्जिदें छीन जाएंगी, खानकाहें छीन जाएंगी, कब्रिस्तान छीन जाएंगी, ये कहना गलत है। सरकार ने बाकायदा जेपीसी में ये बिल दिया, जेपीसी ने बहुत पेशेंटली सबको सुना है और उसके बाद में अब ये बिल पेश करने जाएंगे। मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि ये बिल आने के बाद में वक्फ के मैटर में ट्रांसपेरेंसी आएगी और उसकी प्रॉपर्टी को प्रोटेक्ट होगी।
The bill also received support from the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council. The body asked MPs from Kerala to vote in favour of the Waqf Bill, saying Christians are also victims of Waqf land grab. BJP hailed the Catholic body.
ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, क्योंकि कैथोलिक काउंसिल ने अच्छा से स्टडी किया। ये वक्फ अमेंडमेंट बिल को विरोध करने वाले चंद लोग वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने करोड़ों का वक्फ जायदाद को कब्जा करके रखा हुआ है। कुछ एमपी से, कुछ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से, जैसे कांग्रेस पार्टी और कुछ लोग हैं, वो मुसलमानों को गुमराह करके मुसलमानों को वोट बैंक बनाना चाहते हैं, इसलिए वो विरोध कर रहे हैं।
In Kerala, in a place called Munambam near Cochin, hundreds of families, poor families, are having the threat of their land being seized by the Waqf hang on their heads. The MPs of Kerala did what is their duty to do, which is to help people who are in trouble, help people and solve their problems rather than only play appeasement politics.
Meanwhile, Muslim namazis during Eid prayers in Delhi and Bhopal wore black armbands to register protest against the Waqf Bill.
जो हमारे जो बुजुर्ग थे, जो हमारे जो एंसेस्टर थे, उन लोग ने जो अपनी ज़मीन दी वो अल्लाह के रास्ते में अल्लाह के लिए दे दी, जिसपे मदरसे, मस्जिद और हमारी ईदगाह, हमारे कब्रिस्तान है। अगर गवर्नमेंट के अंदर चले जाएंगे, कुछ में चले जाएंगे, तो फिर वो गवर्नमेंट के, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के अंडर आ जाएंगे, फिर वो ज़मीन का कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। इसलिए हम इस बिल का विरोध कर रहे हैं, इस बिल के अगेंस्ट है, और ये हमारा पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट है बिल के अगेंस्ट।
Stand by allies like TDP and JDU may seal the bill's fate in Parliament. With Piyush Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
So on India Today, let me get you all sides of the story. The Waqf Reform Bill. The new bill, it aims to regularize power of the Waqf Board. Earlier, there were allegations of unfettered powers as far as the Waqf Board was concerned. Under the new bill, there's no power to usurp any land. The Waqf cannot just claim this is my land or this is Waqf land and then take it. Earlier, power to name any land as Waqf land, like in the case of that 1,005-year-old temple in Tamil Nadu. Then the new bill actually empowers women to be a part of the Waqf Board, to be a part of the management. Earlier, there were no women on the board. The new bill, minorities, Shias, Ahmadiyas, they too will be a part of the Waqf management. Earlier, the marginal sections amongst the Muslims, they were not a part of the Waqf. So the government says the new bill aims to bring in more transparency. It eliminates apprehensions of forgery. It seeks to regularize the functioning of the Waqf Board. Earlier, there were multiple loopholes. There was forgery in naming of Waqf land. The new bill, there is a centralized portal which will list out all the Waqf assets. Earlier, there was no centralized portal for what is Waqf land, what is not Waqf land. The new bill, if any decision has been taken, it can be challenged in civil courts. For example, any decision of the Waqf tribunal, if you're not happy with it, you can easily approach the High Court. Earlier, the Waqf decision was final and couldn't be challenged in any court of law. And this, many said, and those who were victims, including the Catholic Bishops' Council, they've said that there has to be principles of natural justice that need to be adopted. I want to quickly cut across and bring in India Today's Piyush Mishra for more on the story. Piyush, the battle lines appear to be very clearly drawn in Parliament on who supports the Waqf bill, who opposes it. Parliamentary Affairs Minister and Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju very clearly says, don't mislead Muslims, don't mislead the masses. If there is any problem, debate it in Parliament. Depending on time, whether it takes 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, depending on the rules, time would be allocated. What is the position as far as Parliament is concerned? When does the government intend to table the Waqf bill?
Well, Gaurav, sources are suggesting that most likely on April 2, the government is likely to table the Waqf Amendment Bill, which the Cabinet had cleared with 14 amendments. So tomorrow, the meeting of a Business Advisory Committee will take place, and in that we can expect the government to put forth before the opposition political parties about its intention of bringing up the bill. So most likely, tomorrow it will be decided when the government is going to table this bill. But even before the government is all set to table the bill with all amendments, we are now seeing how the politics taking place. At one side, there are likes of Asad Owaisi and other opposition political parties who are opposing this bill. On the other side, the government is saying, we spoke to Union Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju. He is telling us that if you have some objection, then come with these objections. We are ready to have a detailed discussion. We are ready to have discussion as long as you want. So do not oppose this bill just because you want to oppose this. Oppose the bill basis on some sort of logic. That's what the government is saying. But we are now seeing how there is a section of this is a large section from Muslim community whom we saw today protesting wearing black band on their arms. There are people from the Congress party, from Aam Aadmi party, from Samajwadi party who are protesting against this bill. Couple of days back, All India Muslim Personal Law Board had staged a protest at Jantar Mantar. Then the protest was shifted to Bihar. So there is a sense which they want to, narrative which they want to build against the Waqf Amendment Bill, and that is what the government is saying, that do not spread misinformation, do not lie to the people of this country. If you have any objection, come on the floor of the house, we will have detailed discussion. Now we'll have to wait and watch how the tomorrow's meeting goes on and when the government comes up with this bill.
Okay, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. Now, at Dargah, Ajmer, Sharif, the chief there is batting for the Waqf Amendment Bill, saying the time has come, reform the Waqf, reform the functioning so that it remains transparent and benefits the masses. Listen in to Sayyid Nasiruddin Chishti.
संवैधानिक तरीके से अगर कोई प्रोटेस्ट करता है तो करे, उसको कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन जहां तक वक्फ का मेरा मानना ही है कि वक्फ में अमेंडमेंट की जरूरत है। देखिए, वक्फ का मतलब ये कहते ये नहीं है कि लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि मस्जिदें छीन जाएंगी, खानकाहें छीन जाएंगी, कब्रिस्तान छीन जाएंगी, ये कहना गलत है। हो सकता है कुछ सेक्शन से उनको प्रॉब्लम हो, ये ऐसे मत हो, ये डेमोक्रेसी का पार्ट है और सरकार को कोई जल्दबाजी नहीं है। सरकार ने बहुत तसल्ली से इस बिल को लाई थी। सरकार ने बाकायदा जेपीसी में ये बिल दिया, जेपीसी ने बहुत पेशेंटली सबको सुना है और उसके बाद में अब ये बिल पेश करने जाएंगे। मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि ये बिल आने के बाद में वक्फ के मैटर में ट्रांसपेरेंसी आएगी और उसकी प्रॉपर्टी को प्रोटेक्ट होगी, और जो किराया इंक्रोचमेंट जो कम कम है, ज्यादा हो चुका है वक्फ के अंदर, वो इंक्रोचमेंट हटेगा और वक्फ का किराया बढ़ेगा जो कौम के लिए काम आएगा।
And Kerala BJP Chief Rajiv Chandrasekhar says many Christian organizations, including the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council, they've extended support to the Waqf Amendment Bill proposed by the Centre for Poor Families. He urged MPs in the state to assist the people of Kerala instead of engaging in minority appeasement politics. Listen in.
Today, both Nirmala ji and Kiran Rijiju ji have also welcomed this. And I thank them for it. But the issue is that the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council and many other Christian organizations are asking the MPs from Kerala to take a stand on the Waqf Amendment Bill and vote in favor of it, because in Kerala, in a place called Munambam near Cochin, hundreds of families, poor families, are having the threat of their land being seized by the Waqf hang on their heads. The MPs of Kerala did what is their duty to do, which is to help people who are in trouble, help people and solve their problems rather than only play appeasement politics.
Help people solve their problems, don't play appeasement politics, is what Rajiv Chandrasekhar says. So the battle lines, as you can see, are very clearly drawn. Joining me now on this India Today special broadcast is Kausar Jahan. She's the chairperson of the Delhi State Hajj Committee, on the protests, the support and those who are opposing this. Kausar Jahan, how do you look at these protests that are happening when it comes to the Waqf Amendment Bill? There are many who say that this is against the principles of Islam. There are many who say it's against Sharia. There are some who say that this Waqf Amendment Bill is a direct violation of Article 26 of the Constitution, as it attacks religious rights of minorities. Like Asaduddin Owaisi said words to this effect, that Waqf Bill is actually government interfering in Muslim religious affairs.
Well, on this I would say that this is a misleading campaign is being led by the opposition to mobilize fundamentalist forces, and this is a deliberate attempt to provoke them along communal lines to protect vested interests. I have spoken to a number of scholars, and I think till now nobody has been able to provide a valid answer so as to how the Waqf is interfering with religion. Again, I would say in no way is this interfering with religion. In fact, it is a necessary measure to uphold fairness and justice.
So it is required. You think that Waqf Bill is required. Why is it required? Because All India Muslim Personal Law Board, it says that Waqf it goes against the principles of religion. Any amendment dilutes the authority of Muslims or Waqf and brings in outside interference.
I think the people resisting the change are the ones who are actually benefiting from the illegal occupation of the Waqf properties. Now, how does this interfere with religion? And which religion says that आप किसी की भी प्रॉपर्टी पे कब्जा कर लीजिए? ये तो ठीक नहीं है ना. वक्फ संशोधन बिल पारदर्शिता, जवाबदेही और निष्पक्षता की ओर एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कदम है सरकार की ओर.
तो एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है.
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कदम है. और जहाँ इस्लाम की बात आती है तो उस पर तो मैं यही कहूंगी कि देखिए, इस्लाम की भावना के अनुरूप ही सरकार जो है इसमें महिलाओं का प्रतिनिधित्व दे रही है.
ठीक.
पैगंबर साहब की जो पत्नी थी वो एक बहुत ही कामयाब व्यापारी थी. इस्लाम में जो है महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण को बहुत महत्व दिया गया है और इस्लाम में महिलाओं का खास स्थान है.
तो फिर ये लोग क्यों विरोध कर रहे हैं? अगर सरकार ये ला रही है तो इसका विरोध क्यों हो रहा है? आप किस रूप में देखते हैं?
देखिए, इनके अपने वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट हैं. तो ये जो है मजहब के नाम पे जो है फिर जो दुकान चलाने वाले हैं, ये मतलब उन्हीं लोगों को समस्या हो रही है इससे. एज आई सेड, ऑल दिस इज बीइंग डन टू प्रोटेक्ट ओनली देयर वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट्स. और जहां तक आर्टिकल 26 की बात आती है तो आर्टिकल 26 जो है धार्मिक मामलों की स्वतंत्रता के बारे में, लेकिन जवाबदेही के बिना ये कैसे होगा? संविधान के जो हमारे निर्माता हैं, उन्होंने जो है संविधान के निर्माता जो हैं अधिकार के साथ जवाबदेही और उत्तरदायित्व भी तय किया है। आर्टिकल 26 की आप अपनी मनमानी व्याख्या नहीं कर सकते हैं ना।
तो आपको लग रहा है कि बैरिस्टर असदुद्दीन ओवैसी या ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड जो इसका विरोध कर रहे हैं, जो राजनीतिक दल इसका इतना विरोध कर रहे हैं, ये क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि ये तो कह रहे हैं कि ये मुसलमानों के अधिकारों पर इट्स अ बिग अटैक ऑन राइट्स ऑफ मुस्लिम्स, दैट गवर्नमेंट विल ब्रिंग इन आउटसाइड इंटरफेरेंस। अच्छा, एक मैं आपको और छोटा सा उदाहरण देता हूं। अगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर को ला देते हैं आप उसके बीच में कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर वक्फ की क्या प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, वो डीसी का रोल होगा। अगर डीसी और डीएम यहां पर आ जाएंगे तो उनकी तो कोई अकाउंटेबिलिटी है नहीं मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के प्रति, इसीलिए वो विरोध कर रहे हैं कि फिर वो तो फिर एक सरकारी तंत्र हो गया, सरकार में उनकी सुनवाई नहीं होगी।
See, the Modi government is committed to the welfare of the community and the nation and not indulge into vote bank politics. सरकार का और प्रशासन का इसमें इन्वॉल्वमेंट बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि वक्फ की जो संपत्तियां हैं फिलहाल उसका दुरुपयोग हो रहा है।
कैसे?
वक्फ की संपत्तियों का जो मूल्यांकन हो रहा है वो किस आधार पर हो रहा है? प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन नहीं है, रिकॉर्ड्स नहीं है। आप किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी को उठा के बोल दें कि जी ये वक्फ की प्रॉपर्टी, किसी की प्रॉपर्टी पे आप कब्जा कर लें, तो ये मनमानी तो नहीं चलेगी ना। वक्फ का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या था? कॉन्सेप्ट यही था कि जो अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड जो मुसलमान कौम है उसका फायदा उनको मिलना चाहिए, जो कि फिलहाल वो नहीं हो रहा है पूरा।
तो किसको फायदा मिल रहा है?
फायदा मिल रहा है चंद लोगों को, जिन्होंने चीजों को अपने हाथ में कर रखा है और अपनी मनमानी कर रहे हैं, और यही लोग हैं जो विरोध कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि अगर प्रशासन का इन्वॉल्वमेंट हुआ, जैसे आपने कहा कि डीएम वगैरह इन्वॉल्व होंगे, तो प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, प्रॉपर जो है एक प्रोसेस होगा ना कि आप किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी को आप कैसे आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि वक्त की प्रॉपर्टी है। वो एक क्राइटेरिया होगा जो आपको फुलफिल करना होगा। तो अगर नहीं होगा तो फिर वो प्रॉपर्टी नहीं हो सकती वक्त की प्रॉपर्टी। लेकिन यहाँ तो किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी को जिसका उनका दिल करता है वो कहते हैं कि जी ये वक्त की प्रॉपर्टी है। और जो मुसलमान कौम है, जिनको एक्चुअली जो बेनिफिशरीज हैं या फिर जो जरूरतमंद हैं, उन तक पहुंचते नहीं है बेनिफिट्स। तो ये संशोधन बहुत जरूरी है, कौम की बेहतरी के लिए है ये कदम। और ओवैसी साहब के विषय में तो मैं यही कहूंगी कि जब भी कौम की बेहतरी के लिए कोई कदम उठाया जाता है तो उसका विरोध वो क्यों करते हैं? वो आखिर चाहते क्या हैं? मुसलमान कौम के अगर वो वाकई में हितैषी हैं तो उन्हें तो इसको सपोर्ट करना चाहिए। जेपीसी में जो है वो इस कमिटी के मेंबर रहे हैं। जेपीसी में जो है बहुत अच्छी चर्चा हुई है, इस पर सबको इंक्लूड किया गया है, सबसे राय मशवरा करके ही हुआ है जो कुछ हुआ है। और ये जो धरना प्रदर्शन वगैरह होते हैं, इस सब की जरूरत क्या है? आपको अपनी बात रखनी है, आप तरीके से अपनी बात रखिए, संसद में रखिए, आपकी बात सुनी जाएगी।
अच्छा, ये जैसे नूरुद्दीन चिश्ती साहब है, नसीरुद्दीन चिश्ती साहब दरगाह अजमेर शरीफ के, वो इसका समर्थन कर रहे हैं, या कैथोलिक बिशप काउंसिल इसका समर्थन कर रही है केरला में। इससे क्या ऐसा लगेगा कि सभी एकजुट नहीं है वक्फ के खिलाफ? कुछ ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो सोच समझकर महिलाओं का भला या बच्चों का भला चाहते हैं। क्योंकि किरण रिजिजू साहब ने अभी अब से थोड़ी देर पहले कहा दैट किसी मस्जिद की, मदरसे की, कब्रिस्तान की जमीन ले ली नहीं ली जाएगी, लेकिन उसका भी डर है इस समय। क्या
देखिए, माननीय मंत्री जी ने जो कहा बिल्कुल सही कहा, मैं बिल्कुल उनकी बात से इत्तेफाक रखती हूँ कि इसमें कुछ छीना नहीं जाएगा, बल्कि जिनका हक है उनको अपना हक दिलवाया जाएगा। और मतलब जैसे आपने चिश्ती साहब का जिक्र आपने किया, तो मैं ये कहूंगी कि जो प्रगतिशील सोच के जो मुसलमान हैं, तो मेरे ख्याल से वो इस बात को समझते हैं और इसकी अर्जेंसी को समझते हैं कि इसको ये कितना जरूरी था ये कौम की बेहतरी के लिए।
ठीक, क्योंकि जमीयत उलेमा हिंद इस तरह के जो संगठन है और ऐसे कई और संगठन है, आपने ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड का विरोध जो बिहार में हुआ उसको भी देखा, उससे पहले जो दिल्ली में जंतर मंतर पर धरना प्रदर्शन हो रहा था आपने उसको भी देखा। वो कह रहे हैं कि एक ये षड्यंत्र है, कॉन्स्पिरेसी है कि मुसलमानों की जमीन ले ली जाए, मुसलमानों के अधिकार ले लिए जाए, और पारदर्शिता के नाम पर मुसलमानों के अधिकार उनके पास रहे ही ना, सारे अधिकार सरकार के पास चले जाए। उस पर आप क्या कहेंगी कि सरकार फिर डिसाइड करेगी और वक्फ बोर्ड नहीं?
देखिए, सरकार डिसाइड करे, क्योंकि अभी ये हो रहा है कि अभी जो है किस आधार पर मूल्यांकन हो रहा है वक्फ की संपत्तियों का। दिल्ली वक्फ बोर्ड की बात करते हैं। चलिए, दिल्ली वक्फ बोर्ड में क्या है, इमामों को तनख्वाह नहीं मिल पाई, एलजी साहब को इंटरवीन करना पड़ा। जो बेचारी महिलाएं हैं, जो बेचारी विधवा बेवा महिलाएं हैं, उनको जो स्टाइपेंड प्रॉमिस किया गया था वो नहीं मिला। इतनी सारी प्रॉपर्टीज, देखिए वक्फ जो है वो बना था कौम की बेहतरी के लिए, कौम के फायदे के लिए, लेकिन वो अब एक बड़ा घोटाला ही बन के रह गया है।
आप कह रही हैं अभी जो वक्फ है वो एक घोटाला है, भारत में एक बड़ा घोटाला है ये।
देखिए, संपत्तियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है ना, तो जाहिर सी बात है जिन तक पहुंचना चाहिए उसका फायदा वो पहुंच नहीं रहा है। कितने 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 करोड़ की संपत्तियों का कोई हिसाब नहीं है। कुछ लोगों ने अपना जो है बस अपना कब्जा कर रखा है और जो उनकी मनमानी है बस वो उसके हिसाब से चीजों को चलाते हैं। As I said, to protect certain people's vested interests.
Okay. So very clearly the battle lines are drawn. Kausar Jahan for joining me here on India Today. Many thanks. The chairperson of the Delhi Hajj Committee, Delhi State Hajj Committee, is very clear that so far only certain vested interests have benefited from the Waqf not being reformed, and it's only vote bank politics that others continue to support those vested interests. Many thanks for joining me. I now want to shift focus to the other big story on India Today. As the country celebrates Eid, there's a political war that's broken out over the UP government's diktat that there would be no namaz on the streets, on roads or on highways. And there was heavy police deployment across Uttar Pradesh. It coincided with Chaitra Navratri, and the police made sure that in case there was a violation, cases would be registered if anyone was found offering namaz on the road. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, former chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, earlier accused the Uttar Pradesh police of unnecessarily barricading various places on Eid, even in Lucknow. He said it's a sign of emerging dictatorship in the Yogi Adityanath government. Authorities said stern action will be taken against those who violate any of the orders of the administration, and had earlier even warned that passport, driving licenses, they would be cancelled if anyone was found to be in violation of the law of the land. Several Muslim clerics too urged the namazis not to break any rule or law and ensure namaz is offered only inside mosques. They also said need be, there would be a namaz that would be offered not once but twice, if required even 3 times, one after the other, so that everyone is accommodated inside the mosque. Meanwhile, AIMIM went out all guns blazing against the government order and insisted, why is no action taken against Kavariyas who block roads? AIMIM leaders claimed that government and police shard flower petals on Ganpati pandals and Kavariyas when roads are blocked there, but such diktats are issued only against Muslims.
जब मैं आज आ रहा था तो जानबूझ करके पुलिस ने मुझे रोका। मैंने जानना चाहा कि भाई क्यों नहीं जाने दे रहे हो। पूरी बैरिकेडिंग लगा करके मुझे आधे घंटे जब बात की तब जाने दिया, बड़ी मुश्किल से। आखिरकार इसको मैं क्या मानूं, क्या समझूं? इसको मैं तानाशाही समझूं, मैं इसको इमरजेंसी समझूं, लेकिन ऐसी बैरिकेडिंग कभी नहीं देखी। और बैरिकेडिंग इसलिए की जा रही थी कि लोग त्योहार न मना पाएं। सबसे बड़ा खतरा लोकतंत्र को है, संविधान को है। ये सरकार बड़ी जिम्मेदारी के साथ मैं कह सकता हूं, या मुझे नहीं कहना चाहिए, कि ये देश भारतीय जनता पार्टी संविधान से नहीं चला रही है।
हमें सड़कों पर नमाज अदा नहीं करनी है, क्योंकि सड़कों पे नमाज पढ़ना या कहीं ऐसी जगह नमाज पढ़ना जहां पर जगह साफ ना हो या जगह की इजाज़त ना हो या वहां पर तशद्दुद या फितना फसाद फैलता हो, ऐसी जगह पर नमाज जायज़ नहीं है। नमाज अपनी मस्जिदों में पढ़ें। एक नमाज 8 बजे हो जाए, 9 बजे हो जाए और 10 बजे हो जाए। एक घंटे के वक्फे में 3 नमाजें होने से नमाजियों के लिए भी आसानी होगी। न छतों पे जाने की ज़रूरत है, न सड़कों पे आने की ज़रूरत है।
ये क्या, किसने इनको इतना बढ़ावा दिया? ये किससे प्रोत्साहित होते हैं? ये उन्हीं नफरती भाषणों के बयानों से जो बीजेपी के नेता आए दिन देते हैं उससे प्रोत्साहित हो जाते हैं कि हम मस्जिद में घुस घुस के मारेंगे। अब ऐसे 2-4 नमूने चले जाते हैं और इस तरह से आप धमाका करते हो। मस्जिद को कितना आपने नुकसान पहुंचाया, वहां की दीवार को डैमेज हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया। तो ये किस दिशा में लेके जाना चाह रहे? तो हम तो चाहेंगे कि सरकार जो ये आरोपी है इसमें इन्वॉल्व, उसके खिलाफ UAPA का कड़क कायदा लगाए, कड़क कानून लगाए, उनको जल्द से जल्द फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट में इनका केस चले और कड़ी सजा मिले।
There've been instructions not, in fact, to offer namaz on the streets of the country and to only offer it in, religious places within the mosque. Why do it on the roads? There's been opposition to this also by many saying that when Kawadiyas are allowed, when others are allowed, others from the Hindu religion, for example, when their celebrations also occupy the streets, no one protests. But why during Eid? What do you have to say about this controversy on the occasion of Eid today?
Ideally, of course, namaz should be at the mosque, and if there is a paucity of space or something, then there are multiple jamaats, multiple timings of namaz that can be offered. But at the same time, I think this debate is very unnecessary, because we have seen from Kashmir to Kanyakumari during the religious occasion, all the different faith communities, whether Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, they've all been supportive to each other. There's never been such questioning. If there is some political agenda behind these kind of questioning, I think that's the politicians have to answer that. So I think there shouldn't be any issues or any politics over it. If there is a positive space, people do extend their own spaces and they cooperate with that. I think with the cooperation of the administration and local community where the namaz is being offered, there shouldn't be an issue.
I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Samarth Srivastav joining us live from Lucknow for more on the story. Samarth, has everything been peaceful through the day today? The administration was on its toes. We believe there were some clashes that were reported within the community in some parts of Western Uttar Pradesh. But what's the situation right now?
Well, exactly, Gaurav. As UP DGP Prashant Kumar has assured that things will go peacefully. So, if you talk about Lucknow, then namaz, yes, happened, but peacefully, be it in the Tile Wali Masjid or in the Ashbagh Eidgah. But yes, some news from Saharanpur and Meerut came where we saw some clashes happen. One with the same community people in Meerut, and also same happened in the Saharanpur where they showed some Palestine flags outside after doing that particular namaz thing. So those things happened. Though all police has started the investigation in that particular matter of Saharanpur to identify those who did this particular thing, because there could have been more serious issues like just what happened in Sambhal. So that's why strict action will be taken against them. But yes, if you talk about the festival, Lucknow celebrated Eid with proper fervor. Yes, police security was beefed up. If you talk about the previous year's Eid celebration, then yes, security was beefed up. We saw barricades around, so it was good for the city. At one hand, we saw how they celebrated the festival, while on the other hand, police were swift into action throughout the districts. Back to you.
Okay, Samarth, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. As far as government is concerned, they very clearly said there should be no namaz offered on the road or highways. Do not block roads or highways. What is the norm internationally? So let's talk about Saudi Arabia, for example. In Saudi Arabia, again, namaz cannot be offered on the road while stopping vehicles or public transport on roads. That's strictly prohibited. In Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates, for example, there is a fine of 1,000 dirham that's imposed on those who may stop vehicles or offer namaz on the road. Again, in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, there is in the UAE, there is a 500 dirham fine again for those who may stop vehicles and offer namaz on the road. So vehicular movement has to happen unchecked, even in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, or across United Arab Emirates. I now want to take you to what's happening through the country in Eid. Some of these images that are coming from different parts of the country. Let me first take you to Darbhanga in Bihar. There was unfortunately a stone pelting incident. Authorities said there was an altercation between some people when a group of individuals were returning from a religious gathering. So it erupted in a clash. Stones were thrown from the rooftop at devotees who were returning from the Kalash Shobha Yatra on the first day of Chaitra Navratri. Officials said 6 people have been arrested in connection with this incident. From Bihar, let me now take you to Uttar Pradesh, to Meerut's Siwal Khas area. Now here, there was a clash between 2 factions of the same community. The reason behind the confrontation is said to be an old enmity, but when members of the same community but 2 different factions, they offered namaz, and after that there was an altercation. It led to fisticuffs, then lathis, and then stone pelting. The video went absolutely viral, and the police were called in when local country-made weapons were brought in and discharged. So when local weapons were used, the police came in. We are told 3 youth have been injured in this incident. At least a dozen people were later reported injured when 2 groups again from the minority community clashed. This was because of personal enmity and animosity. The injured have been shifted to hospital. Police have been deployed. This incident has been reported from the Tirwada area under the Bichor police station. Again, it happened after Eid prayers, old enmity, and it just escalated. Then a clash occurred between 2 groups in the Pathanwadi area of Malad. This happened in Maharashtra, and this happened because some people who were in a rickshaw, they chanted some religious slogans, and this led to a scuffle between groups.
कल कुछ धार्मिक आयोजन के क्रम में जब वहाँ से सारा क्रियाक्रम करके जब लोग लौट रहे थे, तो एक समुदाय विशेष के लोग जो है उनके द्वारा ये बताया गया कि कोई मुर्गा है जिसको कि दूसरे समुदाय के लोगों ने डंडे से मार दिया है। विवाद का प्रारंभ इसी बात से हुआ। उस बात को लेके ही कुछ बाताबाती हुई दोनों पक्ष में, और जिसके फलस्वरूप आपस में मारपीट हुआ। फिर कुछ रोड़ेबाजी भी दोनों तरफ से की गई। अभी लगातार हम लोग की नज़र में है वो, हम लोग लगातार उस पर नज़र रखे हुए हैं।
कल एक घटना घटित हुई है जिसमें हिंदू समाज के कुछ लड़के जो जा रहे थे और वहाँ पे कुछ एक अनबन हुई, जिसमें मुस्लिम समाज के इसम जो है उन्होंने उनके साथ झगड़ा हुआ है। उस घटना के बारे में कुरार पुलिस स्टेशन में गुना दाखिल किया गया है। आरोपी निष्पन्न करके उनके ऊपर जो लीगल एक्शन है वो लेने की पूरी ये तजवीज़ रखी गई है। मेरी जनता से आह्वान है, अफवाहों पे विश्वास ना रखें। कुरार में स्थिति नियंत्रण में है।
Do not believe rumors. The police insist, do not believe rumors, because there are some outside forces outside our country who are trying to spread a lot of misinformation and disinformation on social media so that there are communal clashes in India. And I want to once again bring in Samarth Srivastav. Samarth, there was a warning from intelligence agencies that forces outside our country may spread misinformation, disinformation, fake information and old videos so that there's a communal clash. Has the Uttar Pradesh police been able to sensitize people enough to ensure, in case there's something, approach the police immediately so that there are no riots, so that there's no violence? What's the situation right now across the state?
See, Gaurav, when Sambal riot happened, we saw how police claimed that the bullets that were found were Pakistan-made bullets. So that was the revelation that there could be some involvement of those countries who are against India globally. So that could be the scene out here as well. And that's why agencies always had that input that there could be misinformation, could be spread via social media, especially on the day of either Al-Bidar ki namaz or on the Eid. So that was the intelligence input, and that's why UP police has also requested to avoid trusting any rumor and first cross-check any information before believing it, because we see many a times it happens that there is some rumor comes in, and especially in a mob when they come after doing the namaz thing, they started getting violent, and most of the time it happens due to the rumor. That's what the top police officials say. So that's why it's very important to monitor things on social media before trusting, and then only believe. That's what the UP police top officials are saying to the people of India. Before going through violent means, first, in a way, cross-check any information which comes in via social media. Back to you.
Samarth, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, Samarth Srivastav in Lucknow. Many thanks. There's breaking news that's coming in from Mumbai. The Mumbai police have reached comedian Kunal Kamra's residence. The Mumbai police have reached his house in Mumbai. He's so far skipped multiple summons. He was supposed to present himself in front of the police. So far, 3 summons have been issued to him. He was out of town initially and said that he would appear subsequently. In fact, he'd also approached courts and said that he would present himself later. But as of now, information that we are getting is comedian Kunal Kamra is not at home when the Mumbai police have reached his residence. We will continue to track that story and get you more on it as the story develops. But a quick break. On the other side, tensions between the United States of America and Iran have reignited. US President Donald Trump has threatened to bomb Iran if the nuclear program deal collapses. But the president of Iran and the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader has warned of a strong response if the US attacks. That story and lots more coming up. Stay with us. Nepal is on the edge. Pro-monarchy protesters have returned to the streets. They seek the return of King Gyanendra. They want Nepal to be a Hindu Rashtra. And this is the biggest, the most sustained agitation backing the king since 2008, when the last Hindu nation abolished monarchy and became a constitutional, became a democracy, a parliamentary democracy. Now on Friday, 3 people were killed, hundreds arrested as pro-monarchy protesters in Kathmandu resorted to violence, and there was arson on the streets. As of now, curfew has been revoked from Nepal, from Kathmandu, but protesters are still on the streets. India Today's Rohit Singh is on ground zero. He sent us this report.
A violent clash between pro-monarchy supporters and security forces in Kathmandu, Nepal. Days later, supporters of King Gyanendra Shah's Rashtriya Prajatantrik Party once again took to the streets.
It's a confrontation which is going on here. You can see here these supporters trying to move forward, but the police has stopped them, not allowing them to move any further. They're also demanding that the status of Hindu Rashtra should be restored in Nepal. On the streets, they are shouting Murdabad slogans against incumbent government.
They are demanding that those arrested for Friday's violence be released and the resignation of the current government in Nepal.
लोगों ने प्रारंभिक रिपोर्ट जो मिला है उनका आदेश से काम हुआ है। वहाँ पर जो भी लोग आए थे वो लोग कोई हिंदू राष्ट्र का मुद्दा एजेंडा लेकर नहीं आए थे।
The Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, hit out at Gyanendra Shah in Parliament, accusing the former king of inciting violence.
पूर्व राजा ज्ञानेन्द्र शाहले गत फागुन 7 गते आफू अघि बढ्ने साथ देऊ भन्दै वक्तव्यबाजी गर्नुभयो। त्यसको लगत्तै ठाउँ ठाउँमा स्वागत कार्यक्रम राख्दै जनमत भड्काउने काम सुरु गरियो। प्रारम्भिक अध्ययनमा यी सबै घटनाले स्पष्ट पार्छ पूर्व राजा ज्ञानेन्द्र शाहले संविधानको ऐतिहासिक निर्णयपछि भएको सम्झौताको उल्लङ्घन गर्नुभएको छ।
The Prime Minister of Nepal also said that those behind Friday's protests will not be spared.
सबैले यस देशमा सबैले संविधान मान्नुपर्छ, व्यवस्था मान्नुपर्छ। हल्ला गरेको भरमा राजनीति र संसद सबैलाई अवरोध गर्ने काम गर्न मिल्दैन। आपराधिक घटनामा संलग्न कसैले पनि उन्मुक्ति पाउँदैन, पाउनुहुन्न। यसमा पूर्व राजा शाहले पनि उन्मुक्ति पाउनुहुन्न।
Nepal's approximately 240 years of dynastic rule ended when Gyanendra Shah stepped down in 2008 in the face of protests. Now many in Nepal have grown frustrated with the Republic, saying it has failed to bring about political stability and blaming it for a struggling economy and widespread corruption. They are demanding a constitutional monarchy that declares Nepal a parliamentary democracy with a Hindu identity. With Rohit Singh in Kathmandu, Bureau Report, India Today.
And India Today's Rohit Singh now joins me with the latest from Kathmandu that remains on the edge. Rohit, 17-year-long journey since Nepal became a democracy, but it's been a turbulent one. Close to 15 governments have changed in these 17 years. People lack that stability. What is it that people that you've spoken to seek in Nepal? How strong are these protests for Raja Gyanendra or King Gyanendra to return to power?
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. Instability of the government has been synonymous as far as Nepal is concerned in the last 17-18 years. But this time around, this entire struggle which has been going on and this tension that has been simmering in Nepal for the last few years, now this has, it seems that has reached a point that the protest has now become violent. What we have seen on Friday and today also, that the clamor is now growing for the restoration of monarchy in Nepal. And what the people on the ground also, what we are getting is that they are upset with the present incumbent government, because what they are saying that there is massive corruption which is prevalent in the government, and that is why they think that the return of the monarchy was the best solution. And also what they want, that since Nepal is 81% Hindu population, so why deny it of the Hindu Rashtra status, which was abolished in 2008? So what they are demanding is that the restoration of a monarchy should take place, and thereby also the restoration of the status of Hindu Rashtra should also take place. And that is why we are seeing that this tension and this demand is now growing louder and louder with each passing day. Gaurav.
That story, Rohit, I will come back to you for more. Stay safe. There's breaking news that's coming in, and this is a big story on the Iran-US tensions. Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has rebuffed US President Donald Trump's threat over a nuclear deal. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has warned the United States, saying the enmity of the United States and Israel has always been there. They threaten to attack us, which we do not think is very probable. But if they commit any mischief, they will surely receive a strong reciprocal blow, unquote. So that's the situation on ground. The United States is very, very unhappy with Iran. But before I get you more on that story, listen in to what Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said.
مواضع ما همه بدانند، مواضع ما همون مواضعی است که بود. دشمنی آمریکا و رژیم صهیونیستی هم همونی است که بود. تهدید میکنن که شرارت خواهند کرد. البته اگر شرارتی انجام بگیره ما خیلی اطمینان نداریم، احتمال زیاد نمیدیم که از بیرون شرارتی انجام بگیره، اما اگر شرارتی انجام بگیره قطعاً ضربه متقابل محکم خواهند خورد.
So beware of consequences is what Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says in response to what US President Donald Trump had said. Listen in to President Trump.
We're going to make a decision on secondary tariffs on Iran based on whether or not they're going to make a deal. If they're going to make a deal, then we're never going to put secondary tariffs on. We're going to hope they have a great, long, and successful life as a country. But we'll see what happens. It's very, very interesting. I can't imagine them doing anything else but making a deal. I would prefer a deal to the other alternative, which I think everybody in this plane knows what that is. And that's not going to be pretty, and I do not prefer that.